All right, so the Yankees got some unfortunate news today. Gerrit Cole could be out for the start of the 2025 season and maybe longer. This is never fun doing podcasts on breaking news about injuries. New York sports in general has not been fun as of recent with the injuries. I mean, Jalen Brunson with his ankle. You look at the Mets side of things, Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas. It isn't fun. It isn't fun at all. And now the news breaks that Gerrit Cole is undergoing testing on his right elbow, his throwing arm, and he let up 6 earned runs in a spring training start. And at first, I was not worried. I really wasn't worried because it's spring training. When I look at spring training games, I look at young pitchers, I look at young hitters, I look at guys like Clay Holmes, even on the Mets. What can they prove to me? But for guys that are established, like Gerrit Cole, a 6-time All Star, a 2-time Cy Young winner, a guy who's just 2 years removed from winning the American League Cy Young, it's just get through spring training healthy and start the 2025 season or any season. But for Gerrit Cole, it just sucks. It sucks. I cannot lie. It sucks. And obviously everybody knows I'm a big Mets fan. I'm a huge Mets fan, but I'm not a Yankee hater. Not at all. And there's a few guys on the Yankees who I actually love. One of those guys is Gerrit Cole. Gerrit Cole, Aaron Judge, now Cody Bellinger. I love Devin Williams, Jazz Chisholm Jr. But Gerrit Cole's at the top of the list because Gerrit Cole, he's a hard worker. He's a guy who he wears his heart on his sleeve. He goes out there when he's healthy every fifth day, and he's the best pitcher in New York, no doubt about it. Over the past 5 years, Gerrit Cole has been the best pitcher in New York. And now, when you take into account that the Yankees are losing Gerrit Cole probably to start the 2025 season, and we don't know how long he'll be out, but we can probably guarantee that he will not start the 2025 season healthy. And it sucks. It sucks. And it's a major blow to the Yankees. And let's get right into it because I mean that's what we're going to talk. Why could it haunt the Yankees? And here's why. Um, not only is Gerrit Cole out, but Louis Heel is out. Louis Heel is going to be out with his injury probably at least till midsummer. I would say June, July. Clark Schmidt had a similar injury just last year. Um, it sucks, man. And I'm never really down on a podcast, but for Gerrit Cole, I am. I do like Gerrit Cole. I think he's a great pitcher. I think he's one of the best pitchers in not only the American League, but in baseball when he's fully healthy. He might be the best pitcher in baseball. I mean, like I said just a few seconds ago, only 2 years removed from winning the Cy Young. So it sucks. It sucks. But let's just talk about it straight up. How could a Gerrit Cole injury for a significant period of time affect the Yankees in 2025? I think it could affect them a lot. I really do. And not to sound like a hater, not to sound like a downser, but you look at this roster, you look at the offseason they had. Brian Cashman built this team to pitch. He built this team to prevent runs. Their bullpen was already fantastic, even after losing Clay Holmes. And you can say what you want about Clay Holmes, but after he got removed from the closing role, he put up a sub 2.3 ERA. He only let up 3 earned runs in the postseason across over 14 innings of work. Adding Devin Williams, the best closer in baseball, bringing back Tim Hill. Even with Jake Cousins' injury, you still have Devin Williams. You still have Tim Hill. You still have Luke Weaver. The bullpen is dominant. And you look at the rotation when it's fully healthy, you got Gerrit Cole, Max Fried, who signed the 8-year deal with the Yankees, who's, the co-ace. You got Louis Heel, the reigning AL Rookie of the Year, who's also down with an injury, which sucks too. Carlos Rodon as your 4 is just fantastic. I mean, a guy, at his best, he's a sub 3 ERA, and at his worst, I think his worst was last year because his first year with the Yankees, he was hurt for a lot of the season. He showed you a fully healthy season last year, and he goes out there, he pitches to a 3.97 ERA, captures 16 wins, and then your 5 would be Clark Schmidt, and then your depth guy would be Marcus Stroman, and then after that it's Will Warren. But the lineup isn't what it was last year, just being straight up honest. Losing Juan Soto, and yes, losing Gleyber Torres significantly hurts this lineup. I mean, when you take a look at the lineup, there's not a single guy in the lineup outside of Aaron Judge in the past 2 seasons who has hit over 30 home runs. And I know it would be crazy to say that no one on the Yankees outside of Aaron Judge could hit 30 home runs this year, but in 2023 it happened. And the only guy who hit over 30 home runs last year for the Yankees was Juan Soto, who is now not on the who's now on the Mets. So when you look at the lineup and now you look at the rotation without Gerrit Cole and Louis Heel, the Yankees might not even be the best team in the AL East. And I hate to say it, but it's true. You look at the Boston Red Sox. They got Walker Buehler. And say what you want about Walker Buehler. When he's healthy, he is a front end starter. They added Garrett Crochet, who's a dominant lefty. You added Alex Bregman to join a lineup of Rafael Devers, Yoshida, and Jarren Duran. So, you look at the Red Sox and you look at the Yankees with the Yankees injuries. When the Yankees are fully healthy, I would say the Yankees are the favorites to win the AL East, but they are not fully healthy. Not only are they missing Gerrit Cole and Louis Heel, but they're also missing Giancarlo Stanton, a guy who hit 27 home runs last year, a guy who played a major role in the postseason, not only just last year, but in years prior. So the Yankees right now, looking at their team with all the injuries, they need to, a lot of guys need to step up. A lot of guys do need to step up. Guys like the young guys, Austin Wells, he needs to step up. We're all talking about how Austin Wells is this great hidden catcher. Well, prove it, because last year he hit under 230. Yeah, you had a great minor league success. Yeah, you hit a lot of home runs last year. You had a 103 plus OPS last year, but you need to be consistent, Austin Wells. Same thing with Anthony Volpe. We want to say he had a great postseason stretch, but that was only 14 games. In his first 2 regular seasons, he hasn't proved much, hidden wise. He's a phenomenal defender, gold glove defender, matter of fact. But offensive wise, Anthony Volpe hasn't really showed that he can be a consistent hitter in the major leagues. Jason Dominguez, I don't even care about his defense. I really do not care about Jason Dominguez's defense. He can be a terrible left fielder for all I care. The reason he is going to start the season in left field is because of his potential with his bat, because he has speed, he has pop in his bat. He's a great offensive guy. He has a phenomenal amount of potential. You look at guys like Ben Rice, who will probably be the opening day DH. Dom Smith that. It's going to be Ben Rice. And Ben Rice tore it up in the minor leagues. Well, now at 26 years old, Ben Rice, it's time for you to show that you can do it at the major league level, or you, quite frankly, won't be a major league player. So the Yankees lineup is going to be counting on a lot of young guys. I want to say they should count on Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger, Chaz Chisholm. You're already going to be counting on Aaron Judge, and Aaron Judge is going to do what Aaron Judge does, and that's going to be rake. Aaron Judge is undoubtedly, in my opinion, the best hitter in baseball, even over Shohei Ohtani. So you can expect Aaron Judge to go out there, hit over 300, have probably over 1,000 OPS, because that's just what he does, and probably 40, 50 plus bombs, probably 50 plus to be honest. And just expecting the guy to hit 50 plus is insane. But, outside of Aaron Judge, like I said, nobody in this lineup has hit 30 plus home runs in the past 2 seasons. Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger, their best years are behind them. I want to say that those 2 additions to the lineup are going to be great, but you also lost Juan Soto. You also lost Gleyber Torres. And now your third baseman, and it's not even losing this. Yes, Chaz Chisholm Jr. is playing second, but you lose Gleyber Torres, the infielder, his offensive production. That is a significant loss. Nobody's also talking about that. Your third baseman right now is Oswaldo Cabrera, who's a 233 career hitter in the major leagues. And then you got DJ LeMahieu, who has a 698 OPS in the past 4 years. He has a 252 batting average in the past 4 years. Even when he's healthy again, that's going to be your everyday third baseman. And I want to say Oswaldo Cabrera could, turn into a solid piece, but Oswaldo Cabrera, even if he plays better than he has in the past, he's not going to lift this Yankees roster. And then you look at the rotation, it's completely depleted. Completely depleted. I was talking about on my last pod, Louis Heal's injury, big whoop. Big whoop. You still got Gerrit Cole, Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Clark Schmidt, and Marcus Stroman as your five. Marcus Stroman as your five? That's pretty good. But now you're going to ask guys like Will Warren to step it up and join this rotation. And I want to say, Will Warren can come out here and shove, but in the major leagues last year across 6 games, he had a 10.52 ERA. I know he's having a great spring training, but at the major league level last year, he got his opportunity and he didn't perform well. And even in the minors, Will Warren has over a 4 ERA in his minor league seasons. So are we going to count on Will Warren to pick up the slack of Louis Heel and Gerrit Cole? Like, thank the Lord that they added Max Fried in the offseason because they need an ace. They need a guy who can get them a win every 5 days. And Max Fried is the only guy that you probably have confidence that can go out there and at least play stopper at the very least. Because can you trust? Yes, Carlos Rodon had 16 wins last year, but he also pitched to a 3.97 ERA. The reason he had 16 wins with a 3.97 ERA, which isn't great, was because they had the most home runs in baseball. Now, going into this year, their lineup took a significant step back. So can Carlos Rodon go out there and get 16 wins while pitching to a high 3 ERA? Can Clark Schmidt go out there and get wins? Can Marcus Stroman go out there and get wins? I don't know. I really don't know. I want to say yeah because they're the Yankees and the Yankees just do what the Yankees do, and that's win and that's get to the postseason. But without Gerrit Cole and without Louis Heel, it makes you panic, and especially without missing a major bat like Giancarlo Stanton in there. Injuries have sucked this spring training. They have sucked. And I hate, like I said, I hate doing podcasts like this. That's why I seem so down right now. I might not seem so, happy and energetic like I do in my normal pods. But that is because a guy like Gerrit Cole, a guy who works his freaking rear end off, gets this breaking news, gets this terrible news. And like I said, I didn't want to panic when he let up 6 runs in a spring training game, but now you let up 6 runs and now you're undergoing elbow testing and you're 35 years old. Yeah, I'm going to panic a little bit. I'm going to panic. Because what does this mean? Does it mean he's out for the year? Does it mean he's only out for a few months? Does it mean he was only out for a few weeks? Because it could be he's only out for a few weeks and he starts the season like, let's say, mid-April, like Sean Manaea of the Mets might do. But undergoing testing on your elbow when you were out half of last year, when we already know he opted in because of the injury scares that he might have in the future years of his career just a few years ago, you got to panic. You got to. The Yankees might not be as good as we expected them when they were just 3 wins away from winning their 27th World Championship. We might be overrating the Yankees. And I hate to say it, but it's true. Like I said, you look at the Red Sox, you look at the additions of Garrett Crochet, Walker Buehler, Alex Bregman, joining Yoshida, joining Rafael Devers, joining Jarren Duran. And their bullpen is also really good. Really, really good. Yankees might not be even favorites in the AL East. Without Gerrit Cole, without Stanton and Heel, Yankees can get by. But without Gerrit Cole, it completely changes. Completely changes. So it's bad news. It sucks. But only time will tell. The tests, like I said, have even yet to be done. So we don't even know if we should really be worried. But damn, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I am worried. Because like I said, missing half of last year, opting into his contract because of the future injury concerns. It scares me. And mostly it scares me is because the Yankees, and mainly Brian Cashman, built this team to prevent runs in 2025. Last year, they put together a team to score. This year, they put together a team to prevent runs. They didn't bring in Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt to be the team, be the lineup that they were last year. They brought them in to be, Stopgaps. Stopgaps. Get us through 2025. Maybe we make a major addition at the trade deadline because we have a dominant rotation with Cole. We have a dominant rotation with Heel, Fried, Stroman, Rodon, Schmidt. Like they had a really good rotation on paper heading into 2025. And now it has completely went into shambles. So we will see. We will see how this affects the Yankees. We will see. We'll go again live and talk about what, the timetable of his return. But I'd say at least not till May or June is my best guess. May or June. May at best, June at best. And then the worst case scenario is he misses the entire year due to a Tommy John. And if there's one guy who I do not want to see go down for an entire year, it's Gerrit Cole. It is Gerrit Cole. Because he is their second best player overall, counting hitters and pitchers. He's their second best player on the team. So now the Yankees are really one injury away from completely being out of 2025. And I pray to God that Aaron Judge does not get hurt. All right, but while we're live, we might as well spend a few minutes on the Metsies. Jose Iglesias doesn't sign with the Mets. And the reason I'm bringing up Jose Iglesias to start is not so much to point out why the Mets didn't sign him, but it's to question why the Yankees didn't sign him. And it even furthers my question now. Because I look at Jose Iglesias, and yeah, he had a great year last year. He had a phenomenal season last year. It surprised a whole lot of people. But at the same time, the Yankees needed a third baseman. Like I said before, Oswaldo Cabrera cannot be counted on. And when DJ LeMahieu is healthy, he cannot be counted on. Let's just go over these numbers. Since 2019, Iglesias hit 298 with a 748 OPS. For comparison, LeMahieu has hit 252 with a 698 OPS since 2021. And those numbers dropped to a 204 and 527 in 2024 for LeMahieu. Now, Aaron Boone will turn to Oswaldo Cabrera, but that choice hamstrings New York in several ways. And it's not hard to figure out why they couldn't match this price for a useful player at a position of need. Yankees still have a massive hole in their opening day lineup. Cabrera, like I said, likely to get the nod for the opening day third base job. And a lot of Yankees fans, they aren't too hopeful they'll see significant production from him. Across 3 seasons, he's hit 233 with a 291 on base percentage. Against right-handers in 2024, Cabrera had some success. So you could even make a case that they should have platooned the two, him and Iglesias. Cabrera hit 268 with a 729 OPS. Iglesias hits lefties amazing. He also hits righties amazing. Switch hitting guy. I get it. Cashman might want to keep flexibility open for the trade deadline, add another third baseman then. But Iglesias wouldn't have halted that plan. His contract in San Diego could be worth a little over $3 million if he makes the major league roster and after a few incentives. It wouldn't have cost the Yankees too much to sign him. New York's lineup, like I said, it isn't what it was in 2024. They added Bellinger, they added Goldschmidt, but the loss of Juan Soto and Gleyber Torres hurts. Like I said, outside of Aaron Judge, nobody in this Yankees current lineup has hit over 30 home runs in the past 2 seasons. And now losing Louis Heel and losing Gerrit Cole, their rotation isn't the strength that it was going into the year. Besides Jazz Chisholm, Judge, Bellinger, and Goldschmidt, the Yankees offense remains unproven, dude. It remains unproven. You're going to be counting on guys like Austin Wells, Jason Dominguez, Ben Rice, and Anthony Volpe, who have never had a year with over a 250 batting average. So that is concerning. So I do not get why they didn't add Jose Iglesias. For the Mets, I guess it makes sense. After losing Nick Madrigal, I thought maybe it made a little bit of sense, but I can see the reason and why. David Stearns did a press conference last night. He said the reason they basically want to keep flexibility open to call up one of their young guys, such as Brett Beatty, such as Luis Angel Acuna. I could see Acuna starting the year in AAA. I think that's what's going to happen. Beatty has already proved himself at AAA, where Acuna hasn't. Acuna struggled in AAA last year. Beatty has basically proven that he's conquered AAA. He's conquered AAA. So I see why the Mets didn't add Iglesias. But I don't want to spend too much time on the Mets. We're going to be going live tomorrow. We're going to be talking a lot about the Mets and this more, the Gerrit Cole stuff tomorrow in depth. But Mets, I look at them right now, and I'd still say they're the second best team in the NL East. I want to put them over the Braves, and anybody that's putting the Braves at number one is out of their minds, because the Phillies are still the Phillies. The Phillies finished first in AL East and the first in the NL East last year for a reason, because the Phillies are the Phillies. You look at their lineup. Look at their lineup. Nick Castellanos, Trey Turner, JT Realmuto. Look at their lineup. Bryce Harper, the stud, Kyle Schwarber. Look at their rotation, headlined by Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola. I get they lost Jeff Hoffman, but their bullpen is still pretty good. But with the Mets, I'm looking at the Mets and saying their lineup really needs to produce. Their lineup needs to produce, because if their lineup doesn't, then those 4, 5, 6 guys in the rotation, likely Blackburn, McGill, and Griffin Cannon. I'd rather see Max Kranick get that nod. He's pitched 7, innings without allowing a run in spring training. He looks great. He's got great stuff. Got a lot of promise. Still young, only 27 years old. But their lineup really needs to produce, because those last 3 guys, they're going to be letting up 3 to 4 runs through 6 innings. If they can score more than 5 runs through 6 innings, then they can supplement that. They can supplement it. But if they don't, they're screwed. But yeah, we'll see. We will see. But that's about it today. Just wanted to go live and talk this Gerrit Cole news. Wanted to hop on the Mets a little bit, talk about them briefly. We're gonna go live tomorrow. I know it's late. Thank you guys for watching, whether you're on X, YouTube. I really appreciate you guys watching this late. We're at 2:51 Eastern time in the morning. Just got home a few minutes ago. Wanted to break the news. Not break the news, but, talk about the breaking news that Gerrit Cole is likely out for a significant period of time. But, yeah, we'll go live tomorrow. We'll talk some more Mets and Yankees. Probably hop into the Giants and the Jets talk as well, because the Giants are – quarterback news is heating up. We saw Antonio Brown on CTESPN break the news that Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers. So, and I hate to say it, but I believe Antonio Brown, because when he breaks news, he usually isn't wrong, which is crazy to say. So we'll probably get some breaking news from Schefter or Ian Rappaport that Aaron Rodgers will be a Steeler. Geno Smith, massive trade, to the Las Vegas Raiders. So now the Seahawks are looking for a quarterback. So now you got a lot of teams looking for a quarterback. And the Seahawks are wild, because they were in playoff contention the past few years. So we'll see. We'll talk some Giants. We'll talk some Jets. Giants potentially putting the package together for that number 1 overall pick that the Tennessee Titans hold right now. We'll see. We'll see what happens in these next few days. But the draft is right around the corner. Opening day is right around the corner for Mets and Yankees. It's going to be interesting. And Jalen Brunson out for at least a few weeks with his ankle injury. And they did not look great without him tonight. Yeah, it sucks. These injuries, man. I mean, Gerrit Cole, Louis Heel, Jalen Brunson, Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas, Nick Madrigal, Giancarlo Stanton. Like, New York is not having fun with these injuries, man. They are not. But like I said, thank you guys for watching. Watching very late right now. We got a little bit over 30 right now watching. I really appreciate you guys, whether you're on X, YouTube. If you want to hop over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 400. So let's get there. And tell your friends. And if you don't like somebody, and you don't like me, and you don't like this podcast, maybe send it to a friend that you dislike. Make them watch me. All right, that's it for tonight, guys. Go to bed. I'm going to bed. Good night. Deuces.